Welcome to Views from the Ridge. Welcome back. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Dill, the bro Dylan. Hey guys, hey. Quick intro, yeah. He's actually a film expert, so it'll be very nice to hear what he has to say about the movie we watched today. Today we watched Mickey 17, release night. I'm very happy we went. Definitely don't regret it. Enjoyed the movie. So Tyler, if you want to go ahead and read the.
All right. Mickey 17, directed by Bong Joon-ho, directed Parasite. The letterbox description says, unlikely hero Mickey Barnes finds himself in the extraordinary circumstance of working for an employer who demands the ultimate commitment to the job, to die for a living. I think that's honestly the best description, and it doesn't really give away anything because you've already seen that in the trailers. It's pretty obvious he dies all the time.
Yeah.
But
That's
Yeah.
all I knew about it.
I think this movie does a good job with touching on the morality of and the ethical dilemma of being reborn and how you should only live once. So
Yeah. I'm definitely going to get into that later when we do the categories for meaning, but that was very apparent as well. So spoiler-free review. I mean, for me, I would just say I recommend the movie to anybody. It's like a sci-fi movie, comedy, super funny. Other than that, spoiler-free. I think the letterbox describes it well. I don't think you need to know anything else going into the movie, but other than that, yeah, y'all got it.
I think so far this is the best comedy movie of the year. I think it's the funniest movie of the year so far, and I liked Companion a lot, and I thought The Monkey was also really funny. But I think this humor for me was the best I've seen. Besides Love Hurts, because that was really funny, for all the wrong reasons. But yeah, this movie was really good. I liked it a lot, and I don't really have too much to say spoiler free, but it's good.
spoiler free. All right. So Robert Pattinson, spoiler free. He does a really good job. Very good. Mark Ruffalo was actually amazing. I think he was amazing. He was hilarious.
And Toni Collette did really good, I thought, as well.
Yeah, no. Everyone did a good job.
Yeah.
It was good. You're not gonna come out of it I felt like it was missing something. It honestly didn't. It was pretty good. Spoiler free. Talking with Liam earlier and Dylan, it kind of has almost an anime vibe to it. And I feel like if they adapted this book into a short, a Cowboy Bebop's kind of short, a short anime style, it could have been just as good, if not better.
I think it would have honestly benefited from that, because
Yeah.
seeing how the space travel in that kind of world would have looked probably better through anime.
They did really well with
They did do-
effects and stuff. It looked really good.
All the CGI was perfect. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, best CGI. And who produced this one? You have Marvel and they have sketchy CGI, and then this that's way better.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
All right.
No, spoiler free. I was a big fan of the movie, really. I really liked the sorry. I really liked all the actors. I'm not too big on critiquing movies, I kind of, if I enjoy them, then I enjoy them. And this one I really enjoyed. I recommend to anybody.
Spoiler alert! Across the screen, everywhere.
Go watch the movie for yourself.
Yeah, go watch it. This is one, unlike Love Hurts, this is one you should watch before you finish the video, actually.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I will start off by saying that you can tell in this movie that the creators and actors really cared about the project, because every single facet of this movie was good. Props, costume, acting, directing, writing, everything was good. It was all above average. And I guess because it was adapted off of a book, they kind of had a lot to work with already.
Oh, yeah.
But it still popped off. And I didn't get that it was adapted from something. It felt very original. So, yeah. I also liked little things, how the creepers in this movie were tardigrades, because that's a very realistic scenario. It's the most evolutionary capable creature on the planet. So I thought that was a really good touch.
I don't know if they're. I still don't
Very, very, very
They look like.
appearance-wise based off of them, yes. But that was a good touch. I liked how, I forget who I was talking to this about, but how the wire tripping,
yeah.
that led to Mickey 18 being just a complete psychopath who wanted to kill everything and everyone. And I liked seeing Robert Pattinson. Yeah, I was thinking about that when he was like randomly wanting to kill people. I was like, why is this Mickey so different? And I was like, oh, the wire.
The current one was going to be right when he tripped on the wire, and because it was unplugged for like multiple seconds, that one wire out of his brain when they were uploading.
Yeah, I also liked.
Wasn't that Mickey 17 though?
No, that was 18 because that was right after Mickey 17 died in the beginning. So it switched to 18 being printed out.
First thing they showed right after the big opening scene.
Yeah, it was a little confusing because they like switched
kinda
back
flipped,
and like yeah.
I think it was 18 though.
Yeah, but I really liked that. I liked seeing Robert Pattinson in two different roles, and I thought he did really good at being both of them.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, as always, his voice acting is really, really, really good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Acting from Robert Pattinson in both like serious tones, sad tones, angry, comedic. Like he did it all in this movie. That was so funny.
Dude, the screaming was hilarious,
Where
bro.
he's crashing out on Mickey 17. Yeah.
You loser! Yeah! Yeah,
That was so funny.
it was hilarious.
I guess I'm just gonna get my one issue out of the way early, just because everything else is a positive for me. But who plays her? Anna Maria Bartolome. I don't. She plays Kai, who you can kind of tell she has a thing for Mickey, but Mickey's with Nasha, and eventually, like, there's two of them, and Mickey almost like kisses Kai, and like you are kind of supposed to like Kai. I felt like I was supposed to like her a lot.
Because she was standing up to Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, like she was like a likable character, but then she had a full like 180, like switched to someone completely different than who she was. And that just felt really sudden and weird to me. And maybe that's because it's like it wasn't a longer movie or it wasn't like an anime style like short story.
Yeah.
Cuz like it just kind of switched, like just like a snap, she was a different person, and it just didn't fit to me. That was the only thing that didn't make sense.
And after that, we didn't really even see her. After that whole interaction with her and Nasha, we didn't see her character again until the very end when she just like gave her the bird at the end. But like, that was weird.
What do you feel like switched for her? Because I didn't feel that.
Because like she was like standing up for like Mickey, like she was just like a nice person. She was grieving still the loss of, was that her girlfriend?
Yeah, her girlfriend.
It was her girlfriend. Like she just seemed like a nicer person overall, and then she was like getting mad at Nasha, and then Nasha was getting mad at her, and then she was blowing up one of those creatures with an evil look in her eye too, by the way. She looked absolutely insane, like unhinged.
Shooting the.
Yeah.
No person that had her moral ethics would have shot that creature that many times. Too.
Yeah, you could tell by how hard she was grieving that, like, I think even she, like, most people wouldn't have just started blowing that thing to bits. Like, it just felt out of place for me. It didn't make sense.
I felt like her more emotional side where she was grieving and stuff was because of the grief, not that was her true self. I felt like she was just another one. Like, all of the followers of him at some point or another were followers of him.
Their dynamic was really good.
Oh, very good.
Oh, remember, Gavin, we predicted it. We predicted it before the movie, the entire thing, based on the cast.
Yeah.
We literally said that, like, we knew what Mickey
We
was
thought
from
they
the
were scientists, though.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo and Tony.
But we
Collette.
thought, like, they would be a duo, Mark Ruffalo and Tony Collette, just based on the casting, the two actors.
Didn't they show that in the trailer?
No, but we thought, like, they would be the main villain duo, and that he would be like the forefront of it, but she would be the one like behind the scenes pulling the strings, and she would be the truly evil one.
Yeah.
And then we knew Steven Yeun's character would just be like,
a weirdo.
yeah.
Dick.
He was just
Also, great acting from.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, as always.
Oh, dude, that one specific scene when he broke in to kill them, and he was like yelling about the associate. That was like amazing acting. Like that was really like it felt real.
Yeah.
And I've thought of this before and talked with people. There's like actors that like are good, but when you look at them and watch their acting, you can tell it's acting.
Yeah.
But then there are some people when you see them on the screen, it feels natural. Like him and Haley Steinfeld, to me, her acting is like so natural for some reason. She's not even in this movie. I just had to get that off my chest. But like there's like people that like actually like they just are there and it feels real. And Steven Yeun is one of them.
So we're gonna go down cinematography's first. So we're gonna go down. Like I'll do my ranking, and then ranking, and then the next category is acting. So you'll start and rank it 1 through 10, and we'll just go down.
Okay.
Okay, bet. So we're back to the categories. So first category is cinematography. Out of 10, I'm giving cinematography like 8.5. there's definitely some standout shots to me, and I think they did a lot with the camera work. Actually, I'm giving it a 9. I think they did a lot with the camera work that told not it set the mood for the scene more than you'd think. Like scenes where Mickey 18 is really about to crash out, the camera starts like panning closer and it's like a little bit shaky, so you feel that he's really about to get on the edge, like he's already there. And then there was a couple other shots, even just the opening sequence I thought was really good with his wiping the ice off his glasses and everything, the close up. There was a scene when he was registering to become an expendable where it had the spiral staircase up to the top and it just the people like slowly walking. It was like a monotonous thing. You could tell they were all just basically just bots at that point. Yeah. But there was a lot of great shots in this movie, and I really appreciated the cinematography. So 9.
Okay, I'm actually gonna go on the lower ball here and say 7.5. I thought it was good cinematography, but I didn't think it was perfect, and I didn't think anything really. I know, but I didn't think it was close to being perfect, or 10 out of 10. I thought there weren't any shots that really were like jaw-dropping, beautiful shots. Like there's in some movies, you see some shots that just stick with you. Yeah, like those big castle shots, and the one in the woods with the crossroads. But like there weren't any of those for me in this. But also there wasn't really too much room for those in this. But I'm still gonna go 7.5 here, which is still good. Better than an average movie you could see in theaters today, but 7.5.
I'm gonna go with an 8.5 because I kind of disagree with you, Gavin. I think there was one shot that I really did like, and that was when like all hell was breaking loose and Mickey 18 was just standing in the open field with all the other like creatures running back and forth of him.
Also, when that not to interrupt you, but also the other Mickey 18 shot where he comes through the crowd with the gun. Like
Dude, yeah, no, exactly. Like I think there were definitely some really good shots.
I've seen that a lot though. I feel like I've seen that shot of the crowd a lot. Like I feel like that wasn't an original thing.
It was more well done with that because you only see the crowd and you're like, where is he? And then it slowly pans to him and you see him emerge, and as the music just swells, the violin starts like creaking and stuff.
That's why I'm giving it an 8.5. There's also the shot of the ship with like the mother. The mother was just aura farming.
Aura was insane.
It was actually kind of crazy. And then when Mickey 18 was crashing out on Mickey 17, when they were alone in the room, and he was like, "You're a loser," and like there was like when he was like about to hit him, it like zoomed in on Mickey 17 while he was getting yelled at. That was a really good shot to me. And also are we throwing CGI in there? Because I thought the CGI was really good.
It was great. If we're throwing CGI into it, I would give it an 8.5 because it was flawless CGI.
I don't think that's cinematography though.
I feel like it is.
Cinematography is more about camera work.
I feel like you still kind of have to like.
You can take that into account for you if you want to. I'm not saying you can't.
I mean, I'm still going 8.5 anyways, regardless. But
then, yeah, I guess I would put that under like for its genre maybe because sci-fi movies CGI really matters.
I guess.
But yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, no, I'm just going 8.5 for cinematography. I thought it was really well done, and I think there's some standout shots.
See, I'm gonna lean more with Gav on this one. There wasn't that much that really stood out to me, and maybe it's just the fact that I'm comparing it to like he said, Nosferatu, because like that movie was just the cinematography in it I think was like near perfect. You know, there's so many shots that I just remember so vividly in my head, and this one just didn't really have that for me. The first shot I really liked. I really liked the opening scene of him with the snow and wiping it off his mask. It stood out to me, and that could just be because I saw it twice, but it stood out to me for sure. And then you bringing up the crowd and the staircase, thinking back to those, huh?
They showed that in the beginning.
No, they showed it twice.
Oh,
Yeah, no. Just like the fact that they showed it twice, maybe
Also,
why
I'm
it's.
happy they didn't play that whole scene out again because I thought they were about to, and I was like, please, I don't want to hear this whole conversation again. But they cut it, so.
But that's kind of how I stand on it. It wasn't much that jumped out to me, so I can't. There was one scene that I didn't like. It was when Kai's girlfriend or whatever, when she died, you know, she like shot into the air and then just stood there, and it was, I don't know, it just.
I think that was supposed to encapsulate like the fear of death because like she kind of just froze up.
I thought so.
She was just like, oh my god, and then that's a realistic.
And I thought the
thing.
camera slowed it and like froze and froze it when
Yeah.
when that was happening in slow motion for her. In real life, it was actually like just a, you know what I mean?
I liked how you could actually see her getting crushed too, because like
Yeah.
she like folded like a pancake. But yeah.
Oh, another shot, real quick, cinematography. Another shot that I liked was the hand in space behind them.
Oh yeah, going behind their
Yeah,
their
but
heads.
that was
That's
just
in the
cool.
trailers too.
It is, yeah.
It still looks just as good.
All right, next category is acting.
What'd you give it though?
I give it an 8.
Also,
I'm gonna go 8.
I was for cinematography, I was swayed a little bit, so I'm gonna reduce my ranking to 8.5. 8.5. I'm done.
What now? Acting?
Acting.
Acting? Honestly, I'm gonna give the acting like 9.5, just because I don't want to give a perfect 10. You know, but like I think it very well could have been a 10. I thought the acting was great. I loved Robert Pattinson. I thought he was great. I thought his girlfriend Nasha. I thought she was great. I thought Mark Ruffalo was amazing. I really loved his character. But really, I think okay, chill. I mean, I did. Okay, not like that. But really, Robert Pattinson he stood out to me so much in the acting. I thought his acting was great.
I'm going with a 10. 10. I've already given out 10s for other movies, so it's nothing new, I guess.
Hands out 10.
Yeah, I've just handed out. No, but you can't lie. Like to me, there was no flaw in the acting. Like I didn't have a single time where I was like, "Ugh, that kind of sucked," or "This joke didn't land for me." Like I feel like we were laughing like the whole time.
Majority of the movie.
Yeah, like I was laughing most of the time. Mark Ruffalo was like, when he was on the screen, you were having a good time. And you were like, what is he going to do? Because him and his wife were, like, erratic as hell. Like, you don't know what they were going to do. Robert Pattinson was amazing. Mickey 18 was awesome. I didn't think he was going to be that much of a psychopath. And he sold it. Yeah, no, like, I didn't have a single time where the acting felt bad. And it felt perfect to me for each character. So I give it a 10.
I agree. I'm giving it a 10 as well. I feel like at both times we've given it a 10, we've given it on the same exact things. Yeah, and in the same exact category.
No.
Right? Because world building, we both give it a 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't give it a 10. Yeah, but acting, yes, this is a 10.
From an actor.
From an actor, this is a 10. I couldn't find anyone that did a bad job or didn't do it as good as they could have done it. I think it was absolutely perfectly executed from every actor in this movie. In the back of my head somewhere, I feel like I said to myself one time, why did they put that take in the movie? But then I caught myself. I think that was on Toni Collette's Mankind, Humankind, because I thought she messed up her line, but she was saying that because
She was correcting him.
yeah.
Or she was correcting herself.
She was correcting herself,
She was
'cause-
trying to include
Yeah,
her
all.
woman.
Yeah, exactly. That's what made it even better for me,
It felt authentic.
because it felt authentic. But I thought at first that she messed up her line, but
She acted that so well.
yeah, exactly. She acted it so well that I didn't even,
Mhm.
it went past me. But yeah, I'm giving it a 10. I thought it was excellent.
I would give it a 10, but there was a couple of things I did not like about the acting, so I'm giving it a 9.5. Because, I mean, Robert Pattinson, 10. Like, every main person in this movie, 10. I did not actually think Kaya, what was her name? Kai. I didn't think she was that great, actually. No hate to her. Her acting was not that convincing to me. It felt kind of cheap. So, no hate to her. Maybe it was the writing, but she was really dull, and her acting wasn't that great to me. It wasn't that convincing.
I like her in the kitchen scene when she
Yeah, there's a couple scenes where she's really good, like that one. But when they're back on the bed talking to each other, that was not a 10 to me. And so I'm going to give this a 9.5 because Robert Pattinson's acting, the duality of his acting right there, like I like him more and more every single time I see him on screen. He's so versatile. Yeah, me too. Like, he's phenomenal. He's one of the best actors out right now. And so is Steven Yeun to me. Okay, writing. So I didn't know this was adapted from a novel, which is just like, I'm not going to take that into account because I didn't read it, so I don't know the comparison. So just based on the film, we give it writing an 8. It was very good. I don't think I'm going to give anything in this movie anywhere near like below average or below average. Everything was good. I'm trying to think of anything specific from the writing. it all lined up for me. I didn't really predict what was going to happen at all. Everything felt really erratic. I liked how they used the time jumps back and forth between them. I like how they began the movie with Mickey 17, came back to his backstory, then came back to the present. I think that like grasped us into what was happening more. So I don't know. I don't have any specific examples. So I'm gonna give writing an 8.
I'm gonna give writing a 9 because I really liked Mickey 17 and Mickey 18's dynamic with each other. Because initially, right out of the gate, Mickey 17 did not like Mickey 18 at all. And I think that's really a deeper reflection on how he hated himself because he didn't even get a chance to really know the other one at that point. I know, but no, he even hated him before that, before he was with Nasha, because he woke up in the bed with him.
He knew they both would have been executed.
Yeah, and I think he also just really doesn't like himself. And later in the movie, when they're about to go back into the horde of creepers, he says, "That's a crazy sentence." Creeper.
Dude, when they said
Aw,
creepers,
man.
when they said creepers, I leaned over to Liam and said, "Aw, man."
Anywho, he has this. They have a conversation about how it's not his fault that the car blew up with his mom, and he's like, "I told you this. I always tell you this." And I thought that was like a really good, deep reflection on himself because he says that to himself in his brain because he doesn't know what to think about all this stuff because he's so like fucked up in the head, and that puts the writing up a lot for me, that scene and their interactions together. And that's really hard to do as an actor when you're talking to no one. You don't have anything to feed off. And that goes into acting, but I thought the writing with the Mickeys was very, 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 very good. And the comedy for Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette.
Yeah,
And
true.
that dinner scene was so funny.
Okay, I'm bumping up to 8.5.
So I'm going to go 9.
I would go 9, but I'm gonna drop it to 8.5 purely because that Kai switch up did confuse me like hell.
That's why it's not a 10 for
That
me.
that knocked it. I guess it's, I don't know.
I mean,
It just-
the beauty of
Yeah.
interpretation.
Yeah, no, it's everyone's different, and she is very different because she switched up in the middle of the movie, and it didn't make sense to me. But yeah, as Gavin said, like that internal dialogue he's basically having with himself with Mickey 18 all the time. I mean, I don't know what else to say that's already been said. I give it an 8.5. The Kai switch up is kind of what knocks it down a little bit for me.
I think I'm also gonna give it an 8.5. The one thing I didn't love was his like backstory. It was too ambiguous for me. Like with the red button, and then I did understand it as the plot point with like his internal conflict, and I did really like how Gav said how the two Mickeys were talking to each other, and he was saying, "I tell you this all the time," when you can see that's like himself telling him in his own head. I did really like that, but I thought they brought it up like twice in the movie, and they made it seem like insanely important, and then they played it down really hard as well, I feel like. And so I just couldn't really tell. And then with the switch up with Kai, I didn't love it, but I can kind of understand it. I've seen other movies where they do that. When you're just in like a highly emotional state, you do different things. Another movie I've seen, I don't want to spoil anything from the movie, but someone was really upset and they do something that they just wouldn't normally do. And so I can kind of attribute that to her deep feelings over what had just happened. I get it. Meaning. So like you said, the aliens, they called them aliens when in reality the humans were really the aliens to them. And I think that's that's a good way of describing it. And then again, how they say they thought that they were stupid just because they were foreign, and if you really look into that, you can see that in our world today, how a lot of people are closed-minded and don't take the time. And once they were able to communicate with each other through the translator, they were able to come to an understanding. And
I loved that they had a translator and aliens didn't randomly speak English because I hate that in movies when an alien can just speak fluent English. It's so freaking stupid.
the translator being made in like 2 minutes was a little odd, but
But if their technology is good enough to
That's
get
what
Yeah,
I was thinking.
if they
were
yeah.
going to other planets, then they could.
Yeah,
they could
across like
definitely do that.
outside of the solar system as well. Yeah.
Well, they had like a day to produce it technically.
It wasn't too long.
Yeah.
Because they had because right after they captured it, it was like a day until they started doing what they were doing.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, I thought, do I rate more? Do I rate the
Yeah, right. The meaning.
meaning?
I
Uh,
just like mid.
I give it like a 9.5. You know, it addressed the foreigner kind of ideal and as well as the internal conflict really well, and how there was two of the same person but they had different minds. You know, I thought it did really well in both of those.
Yeah, no, I think I am also gonna have to go like an 8.5 to. I'm gonna go a 9 because there were kind of multiple meanings. Like there was the internal dialogue. There's foreigners. That's a big one because if you can look back on the United States history, they've treated foreigners pretty bad, just because of some one thing that they did. And another one that I saw. I have to cut this because it's on the tip of my tongue.
I have like 4 or 5.
I have
ones.
a lot
It's
of
on the tip of my
different
tongue.
meanings.
Oh yeah, they. Another thing is they also deal with the morality of just cloning in general, because that's possible
Yeah.
today. It actually is possible.
Happens.
Yeah, like you
They
can
clone
actually.
sheep
Yeah,
and
you can
dogs.
clone stuff now. And that touches on the morality of it, because he was literally they used fecal matter and extra food to make his body, which is insane.
Which at the end of the day is what could happen. I
That
mean,
is what
everything's
would
made of
happen,
the
I
same
think so.
things, you know.
Yeah.
They would do that 100%.
Oh yeah, and then also using people as expendables. Literally, he's literally being experimented on to see what different deaths will do to a human, basically. And it hits really hard. Even the first scene where Steven Yeun's character is just you're good to die, right? It immediately makes you feel bad for Mickey, off rip. And the scene where you see him getting dumped into the trash pit over and over and over again because they're trying to find the vaccine for the virus, that made me feel off. I was like, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
It really opens your mind to what could happen with clones and why it's not a good idea to go down that route.
Yeah,
So-
I think it really showed how dehumanizing it is, because he wasn't thought of as a human. It was just expendable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get rid of me.
yeah, it's a disgusting thing that humans should never do. Never, don't go down that route. But scientists always want to push.
Okay, I'm actually going to go 10 for meaning because there were so many meanings. And none of them were being pushed down your throat. None of them were being rehashed hey, this is the meaning of this movie. This is the meaning of the movie. Did you get it?
It's not
Did you get it? Yeah. Blink Twice is the same way. I also liked how not only is it about cloning, foreigners, everything like that, it's also just about playing God, and how that was a big center of the movie, the religion of whatever religion that was.
I wish they would have got more depth into that.
I know, but I kind of liked that they didn't, because I think that would have hurt the meaning.
That's true.
And how many people were just sheep and just followed suit and wanted to do whatever Mark Ruffalo said to do. I thought that was really, really, really good. And yeah, it's just never a good idea to play God and clone people and just use them to get what you want. And I really liked every single possible meaning you could find with this movie. And if I rewatched it, I'd probably find more. So I really, really, really liked the meaning. I'm giving it a 10.
Before I give my rating, another thing you said about that, if you noticed, every single time they referred to the church, somebody said the church, and then Mark Ruffalo corrected them and said the company. Yeah. Every single time they said the church, he said the company.
Yeah.
So that was obviously another meaning, the correlation between profit margins and church, which is obviously it's hypocritical. So there was so many meanings, like you guys said. I'm giving 9.5 just because I don't think I can give a 10 just because there's so many meanings. You know what I mean? For me, a 10 is there's this many meanings, and you fully explore the depths of them. And they weren't fully explored, but they were enough to get you thinking about them. So I'm going to give it a 9.5.
I give it a 10 because they weren't fully explored, though they give you room to explore. I like that.
I like it to be fully explored, for you. I don't think it gives you room to fully explore these themes of morality and ethicality. It's just there's that theme, there's that theme, there's that theme. They're not. Anyway, that's my point. It's a 9.5 for me, and there was other themes that were clearly a critical reflection of the modern day United States. That's what this film was. Like, it's the devaluing of the human and the valuing of profit and expansion, and it's like a never-ending cycle of greed to continue and continue and continue going and more and more and more. He's literally was a failed politician that was leading this expedition. Yeah. It's very clearly a reflection of the modern day U.S. and like what's happening. And I'm not like saying any specific people are doing it. It's just been like this now in the modern U.S. history.
It's pay to win.
It's just a capitalist. It's a reflection of capitalism. It's like it's the most extreme amount of capitalism. That's what this is. It's like capitalism on the massive scale.
And even like even why he even became an expendable in the first place is because he had to. Yeah, there's things that money makes you do, and even if it's that extreme.
Exactly. And that was another thing about that is that I could see this happening in real life, and people would say, well, he signed the paper. He signed the paper to be an expendable. Like, okay, how did he get in that situation? What is the context of that situation? It's not that simple. It's not black and white.
Exactly. Like, the Expendables should not be a thing at all.
I could totally see that happening in real life and people justifying it for the basis of science, which is really, really scary.
That's getting really close to Hitler and Nazi stuff. Yeah. Like, that's getting dangerously close to the people you say you hate. They experimented on humans, so if you're allowing this, you're just as bad as the people you hated. Like,
next up, we have Score.
Score. I tried to pay attention to it when I noticed it, but I did not always notice it. I can't lie. I'm not constantly listening to the original score for the movie. I did notice they did very well with a use of no music, of no sound in the background, and it created a lot of tension to have nothing. One of, like I said earlier, the standout parts of the score for me was that scene where it cuts and Mickey 18's going through the crowd and you don't know where he's coming from, and the music's swelling. It's like a violin, and when you finally see him, it starts like screeching and stuff. Yeah, it's like that's a great scene. So I mean, the score for me, I guess 7.5. I'll say 7.5.
I really didn't pay attention much to the score, so I can only really comment on one thing.
Are we going with audio just in general?
You hear that?
What?
It was like scratching. But anyways, I was gonna say the only thing that really caught my eye, like Liam said, the lack of music was really important. But I liked the sound design for the creepers. Yeah, I thought that whole scene where they kept screeching, and you really didn't know if their heads were about to blow up. You were just like, oh my god.
And just a regular like noise.
They're just like, it was really, really, really good, and it was almost like a Morse code type of thing, and you could hear like emotion behind it, and they were saying things differently and stuff like that. I thought the sound design was really good, so I'm gonna say like 7.5, like Liam said, because this score itself I didn't really get much from. So
I'm for the score. So the score I didn't notice. So if it was straight score, and I would put that low just because I didn't notice it at all. Mm-hmm. And usually if it's a good score, I'll notice it. But the sound design for the creepers was just like so good, and just like everything sounded like so crisp. Like there wasn't a time where like something like was out of place or too loud or too quiet. So I'm gonna probably even it out. I'm probably gonna say like a 7.
There was a Wilhelm scream in there too.
There's always one.
The door.
Dude, there's always one of those, but they're like a staple now where they have to be like you have to have it in there. But yeah, no, the audio design was really good, but I didn't notice the score that much except for in the scene when Mickey 18's trying to shoot the politician Mark Ruffalo. That's the only time that I really noticed any kind of music going on. But yeah, 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7. The sound didn't stand out to me, but it also didn't hinder my experience at all. I don't really tend to be one to care much about soundtracks of movies unless it's meant to be like a musical. Mm-hmm. So I can't make too much of a comment on this one, but 7.
All right, next genre. Next is Forrest genre. So however you interpret that, I'm going sci-fi comedy.
Sci-fi comedy. I mean, as a sci-fi movie, I fit the bill pretty well, you know. I mean, they went to it's about like colonization, kind of, you know, moving away from Earth. I thought they did well on it. Explored the possibilities of like another life being on the planet that you go to, and what you'll end up doing with that. And I thought they did well in the sci-fi aspect, and I thought it was really funny. I was laughing pretty much the whole movie. In every part that was meant to be comedic, it made me laugh. Oh, I give it a 10. Like,
I also agree with Dylan. I'm gonna go with 10 as well, because this is 2 10s on one movie now from me. But I don't know. This one feels like it has a lot of things that you get in a sci-fi movie, like a normal one, but it's like a bunch of movies combined into one. But then it's done well. Like, it has cloning, it has like the morality of that. Obviously, it has like space colonization. It has another alien life forms to deal with. I just think it does really well, and most sci-fi movies would just have like those aliens and be like, humans need to kill them, but this one explores like why. Like, there's like, they helped Mickey 17 get out of that ice cave. They showed no hostility. In fact, the humans brought them onto their ship by accident and then killed them. And so it's just like it takes what most sci-fi movies would normally do and then flip it on its head. So I just thought it was pretty good. And I'm giving it a 10. Like, I would recommend this to anybody, as like, if you like sci-fi movies, you would love this.
That's true. So, see, I'm on the fence between a 9.5 and a 10, because in sci-fi movies, especially where they go to different planets, I like to see a variety of different alien creatures, especially to how they would adapt onto those places. And I only got to see one alien, and it seemed like they were the only creature on this planet. But that also could be because that creature's dominated the place for so long.
You gotta think about it though. If that's just a planet, they were on like a one
Yeah.
something
They
mile
literally-
by
they
mile.
only
range.
Yeah.
showed,
That was
like,
nothing.
That's
400
true.
yards.
But like I said, I just like to see different aliens, to see what the humans behind the scenes can come up with and display for a world. But
I don't think that's what this movie was trying to do, though.
I know. But as a general sci-fi, that would be my thing. But if I include comedy into that ranking, it hit in every way for me. So that would be like an 11 out of 10. So I guess I have to go 10 out of 10. It was great. But like you said, if I'm recommending a sci-fi movie, I'm recommending this 100%.
Especially if you want a sci-fi movie in theaters, this would be the one I would say 10 times out of 10.
I agree. So I guess 10.
10s across the board.
Wow.
That was one of my favorite sci-fi movies I've ever seen.
Dude, deadass, it's actually
Like, it was great. It was fantastic.
I was about to say, like, one of the best I've seen in the past, like, couple years, but Doom Part 2 came out last year.
I need to watch that, but it was. I really just liked how they not only explored the surface level sci-fi stuff where here's your hero and he's on the new planet and voyaging. Not at all. No, not at all. And it's a very modern take on it, and it explores a lot deeper themes throughout the movie. So it's a 10 out of 10 sci-fi movie for me, and it's hilarious. So another thing just had nothing to do with it, but like the shooting of the aliens was like humans are so dehumanized, those people, that you are rooting for the alien at that point. You feel bad for them. It's genuinely sad. And the baby, and when they're hanging it over the lava, bro, you're literally rooting for the aliens because the humans are so alien at that point. But yeah. Okay. Next category is rewatchability.
Yeah, and then ranking the movie.
Rewatchability, I think it'll be hilarious again if you watch it again. And I think you'll get more on the second watch, so I'm going to give it like a 9. Like, I want to watch this movie again. I will watch this movie again, so I'm going to give it a 9. I don't really have much else to say about it.
Okay, so I'm not going to like run back to the theaters to watch this again. But I would watch it again, and I know I'd find more, especially for the meaning of the movie. I would find more in the second watch or the third watch. I'd watch this again, and I will watch this again, but I'm not going to run back and go see it. So I'm going to go 9 as well.
All right. Way over schedule.
Under an hour, come on.
All right, so I perfectly agree with what Gavin just said. I'm not going to go completely out my way and be like asking people like, yo, do you want to go see Mickey 19 or
Bro.
Okay, no. Mickey 19 hasn't happened and he never will. Anyways, like, I'm not going to go out my way to ask people to go see Mickey 17 like I have with other movies. But I would gladly go see this again if any one of our friends or even no, my family doesn't watch rated R movies, but like if any of one of my friends were like, let's go watch it, like I want to see it, I would 100% go get another ticket for full price to go watch it again. So I also have to go with like I'm gonna go with 9, just same as Gavin, because I'm not gonna go out of my way to go back, but I would happily go back to see it. So
Yeah, all 9 so far.
9s, yeah, 9.
Damn, I'm kind of gonna spoil it. I'm gonna give it an 8. Just for me, I don't like rewatching movies in like close proximity. I really don't like it. Usually it takes me like honestly even months like to before I really want to rewatch a movie. Even my favorite movies of all time, I can't just watch them over and over.
I can't do that.
And but this one, I'd go see it again. I'd go see it in theaters again if one of my friends asked me to go see it, because I think there are definitely things that you would better notice if you saw it for a second time, and I think the comedy would still hit the same. So, but just due to me really not liking to go back and watch movies again, and then nothing particularly standing out to me that I was really want to see that again, I'm gonna give it an 8.
All right, so now it's a very special time in our ranking where we say theater movie or nah. So we're gonna start up theaters,
3 categories.
services, streaming services, don't watch.
So 3 categories.
Yeah, 3 categories. I feel like we're the same for all of us, right?
I'm gonna say watch it in theater. I would recommend to watch it.
Yeah, I agree with Liam. I'm going watching it in theaters as soon as you can.
So initially I was gonna say discount ticket, but we took that off. So yes, watch it in theaters. But because I don't think this is one that benefits super well from being in theater, but obviously it's better in theater. So
I think it was better.
see it in theater.
Especially like the screeching scene, that literally
yeah.
like kind of shook the theater a bit. How
That
loud
did.
that was. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
That
It was
did.
my seat was shaking from how loud it was.
Also, the effects were really good, like I said, with the cinematography and the lava in that pit. Just that looked so ominous every time they were fighting over it and stuff. Which now I want to boost the cinematography because that was a really good scene when he was pushing him in it and stuff. But I for that reason, I guess see it in theaters. You got to.
Yeah, I'd say see it in theaters. I'll take it from you. I say see it in theaters. I think most movies are better in theaters. And some of the shots in this one, I think, would definitely be better in theater than just watching it on your home TV.
Yep.
All right.
Theater all the way.
Well, clearly we're saying watch Mickey 17. Clearly, I'm a big fan of the movie.
Yeah.
I definitely will watch the movie again. Like they said, though, exactly the same thing. I'm not going to go watch that by myself in the theater again.
No.
But if somebody's like, oh, I didn't watch it yet, you want to go see it? I'll be like, yeah, let's go. It was great. I loved it.
This is the best movie of the year so far.
Oh,
Shoot me, call me crazy. I don't
no,
care. It's the best
100%.
movie of the year
It's the
so
best
far.
movie so far of this year, 100%.
I don't see anything
Yeah,
coming
we got this
super
I've
close.
seen Captain America: Brave New World this year, and this was much better than it. I didn't like that movie at all.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you guys.
Peace out.